Hey guys, how you doing? It's Angel from coffeewithangel.com. I just wanted to hold a quick hangout tonight just to talk about being a work from home parent. And I hope you're having a great day today. Sorry, there's a little fly in here. We've been outside all day, hence the look that's going on here. It's not a very professional hangout tonight, but we've been outside swimming all day and having fun. We've actually got a storm moving through here, so hopefully I won't lose my connection and I'll be able to hang out here with you guys for a while. But yeah, I just wanted to hang out as parents, or hang out as parents who want to be able to stay home and answer some of those questions, address some of those concerns. I've got some notes that I made that I don't have ready here. But yeah, just I did a video on kind of this, not the struggles, but the feelings that you can be made to have as a work from home parent. And the video was about how you can really be made to feel guilty by the people that you know. You can be made to feel like you're lazy. You can be made to feel like people don't think that you want to work. And there's just a whole bunch of things that come along with being a work from home parent. And then there's the other side of things where people think that your day is so easy and how wonderful you get to work from home and you're in your pajamas all day, and it's not really work because you're at home. And it's so wrong. And until you're actually a work from home parent, you don't really get that it's super hard work, and that it is probably, I was in a very, very busy position in what I used to do. I used to be a real estate paralegal at a super, super busy law firm. And I was stressed and life was busy, but I can guarantee that I am just as stressed and busy as a work from home mom. And yes, we have the benefit. Most of us have chosen this, and I would say probably 99% of us who want to be home with our kids are choosing to be home with our kids. But there is probably 10 times a day where I'm just pulling my hair out because you're home with your kids 24/7 and you're trying to get your business done. You're trying to make phone calls. You're trying to maneuver around these kids and their craziness. And I have a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, and combined together, they average out at like a 5-year-old. I don't know. It's pretty crazy around here. And so I get those feelings from people sometimes where they're like, oh, you're a work from home mom. How nice. Like, that must be so easy for you. And it's just, and until somebody's experienced it, until they've done it, they just don't get it, right? So I just kind of wanted to hang out tonight and really reiterate the fact that if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling like you're going crazy some days as a work from home parent, you're not alone. And we don't really discuss those things. And I think, I may say some things tonight. I'm talking very openly as a parent to parents. And I think all of us are grouped into a certain group of work from home business entrepreneurs, internet entrepreneurs, whatever you're doing. And we all have commonalities with the fact that we're working towards a better life for our families. We're working towards either paying it forward or getting out of debt or bringing our spouse home or whatever. We all have those common goals, or being home with our kids, not having to put them in daycare, right? And although that's all common for all of us as an industry, as parents, our days aren't the same as someone who is single at home doing the same thing that we're doing. And I think there's so many times where I hear things like, don't use your kids as an excuse. Don't use anything as an excuse. If you're using that as a reason for not being able to get anything done, then that's an excuse and you need to start getting over that. I don't agree with that as a parent. I think I know that there are times where if my kids are sick, or if I have to drive my kid somewhere, if my kid has a field trip that I want to be involved with, those are valid reasons that I'm not going to get something done for my business that day. I always make sure I do one thing, and I learned that from Diane Hoffman, that I make sure there are certain things for my business that I do every day. But if I don't do the things that other people are telling me I should be doing, I don't let that affect me. And most of the time that I'm hearing this from people, it's people who aren't parents. So I kind of let it roll off my back, right? I let it, I think, yes, you have had huge success, and I'm, definitely want to follow what you've done. But in a sense, you can't really tell me how I should be managing my day, because if you don't have 2 kids running around screaming at home, you don't really get it, right? And so if you are struggling with the fact that you're comparing yourself to other people who are having success, and you're a work from home parent and you're just feeling like you're not doing enough, if you're taking care of your kids and you're doing at least one thing for your business each day to keep it in momentum, then you are doing enough for that day. And then you pick up, you carry on the next day, and you keep going. So I just today wanted to kind of share with you some of the ways that I use, some of the tips that I use, some of the things that I do, and just to relate to you more on a parent level than somebody here, teaching you the things that you need to be doing in your business without really understanding what it's like in your world. So I wanted to go over a few things, and I used to be a night owl. I still am. I'm a converted night owl, maybe. But I know that if you stay up late working your business and need to get up with your kids in the morning, you're not going to be the happiest parent. And I have found that switching from being that night parent working your business to getting up at like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and really working your business hard in those hours is much more beneficial to you. And it helps you to relieve your stress during the day, because I found that when I was working from like midnight until 3 o'clock in the morning, or even it was longer than that, probably 10:30 until 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and then waiting for that time each day and knowing that I had to get so much done in that time was very stressful. And you do tend to take it out on your kids, right? If you know you have to get certain things done, you didn't get it done during the day, you need to do it late at night, you're going to be tired, you're going to be drinking coffee at all hours of the night, you can take it out on your family. So I found that changing myself to being a person who wakes up very early to get those things done in my business so that my mind is calm. I've done things that I know are income producing. There's one of mine now. And, it just has helped me to be a better work from home parent. And now if you're watching this, I know there's a few people on here. If you're watching this and you're looking to become a work from home parent, stay on, because all of these are things that you can take and put into your business as you are there. And for sure, if you want to get together with me and talk later on, we can absolutely, find out some ways that you might be able to work from home and make some income. So definitely, if you're not relating to this now, for sure, keep listening, and I will help you out later. But the other thing is, I always stress this in a lot of my videos and posts, is that part of working from home, whether or not you're in health and wellness, whether or not you're in anything like that, taking care of yourself and making time for yourself is huge. And so in that morning time that I have, I make sure that I use at least half an hour of it, maybe 15 minutes some days if I'm super busy and have lots to do. Use that time for either your meditation, your affirmations, the stuff that you read, the audiobooks, basically that time of self-improvement. And do that without your kids around, because there's lots of times where I don't do that in my early morning. I'll get my work done and I'll save that for like breakfast time when I have a couple of minutes to myself, and they're always around. They always need something, right? So if that time that you need for your development of your mindset is being interrupted, you don't want that interrupted. You want to be working on your subconscious mind. You want to be really receptive to what you're learning, to that spiritual level. So keep that time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with using a 15 minutes or so every morning and doing that. And then I always make sure, if you want to know my things that I do every day to be successful and to kind of keep my sanity with the kids around, is that I absolutely have certain things that I need to do each day. And I have it set up. I actually learned this from Dr. Doug Firebaugh, which is plan. And if any of you here have followed me, you may have heard me talk on this before. It never hurts to hear it again. It really will help you. Plan and use it as PLAN. P is for phone calls. You want to be making phone calls every day. L is for leads. You want to be making sure you're getting leads every day. A is for appointments. You want to be making appointments every day. And N is for next steps. So that's either your next steps, or if you do already have a team, what are their next steps? What do you need to be, contacting them and seeing if they've done certain things? If they need help, do they need some three-way calls? Anything like that, or anything for you, so that you know what your next steps to keep your momentum is. As long as you've done those three things before that, where you've done your phone calls, you made your appointments, and you've got leads for the day, making sure you've got your next steps in order. And that can even be something as simple as making your list for the other things that need to get done for that day, because I find that making sure that those other three things, which are the keys to building your business, which are the keys to your momentum, as long as those three things are getting done, you can add on some more things to your day that aren't necessarily must-dos, but that you want to do, right? Then you don't feel so stressed. You've done the things that every successful person in this industry has done each day, and you can take care of it that way. So that for me is huge. And I always make sure, and my team trains on this, and this has been something that for me mentally just helps me to keep that stress level down as a work from home parent, is to show at least 2 presentations a day. And you know what, if you don't do more than that, it's okay. You show 2 presentations a day. That helps you from thinking that you need to be constantly prospecting, constantly talking to people, constantly trying to keep your world in order, constantly being a mom, being a cleaner, being the laundry person, being the caregiver, being the shoulder to cry on. You have so many roles where if you can just minimize it to what you have to do. And when you think about that, 2 presentations a day is 14 presentations a week. And how huge is that for your business? And if you're not at that point now, maybe thinking that you need to add in 14 presentations a week is overwhelming to you. But if you take away the fact that you're overwhelmed with the fact that you're not doing that right now and you know that you need to be, finding those areas where you can make those pockets of time to really get that done is huge. And it will help you to be, it's amazing how when you start to do the things that you need to be doing in your business, that you become that better parent from home. And so people may look at it as, well, I'm spending more time doing my business, I'm taking away from my kids. Not at all. First of all, it's awesome for them to see you running your own business. It's fine for them to know that you work. Just because you're a work from home parent doesn't mean that every hour of your day needs to be allocated to your kids. They need that structure as well, where it's like, okay, mommy is working from 10 to 12 every day, 12 to 1 we have our lunch, mommy works from 1 to 2, and then 2 to 4 is our playtime, however you want to do it. I mean, for us, that's similar to our summer structure because it's summer, we're in Canada. So it's like super cold the rest of the year. So we make sure that summer is a fun time. But even right now, we had dinner, they're upstairs, they know that mommy is doing this, they pop down every once in a while, that's fine. But they understand that I'm working and they respect that. And they've gotten used to it in the fact that they don't question me on it, they don't complain, I don't get, and now it's actually at the point where I can say to my kids, okay, I'm making phone calls for half an hour. I've got 5 or 6 people to talk to. They're just going to be quick conversations. If you leave me alone, I'll have more time for you. And they go off and they do their thing. They play, they have a snack, whatever it is. And it just makes it easier. So don't guilt yourself into thinking that as a work from home parent, you're not spending enough time with your kids, because I have that overwhelm all the time. And especially for my daughter, she's older. And she wants she wants that playtime, right? She wants that interaction. And as frustrating as it is sometimes that I can't give that to her 24/7, I know that I'm home. And it could be, I've said to her, you could be dropped off for 8 or 9 hours a day and not see us at all. And then when we got home, everything's crazy. And no offense to you if that's your life right now and you're looking for a way out of that. That was me. I mean, that was totally my life. It was a little bit reversed of that, where my husband, we never actually put our kids in daycare, so I can't say that I can relate to the daycare thing. I can only relate to how stressful I can imagine it to be. But my husband would work days, I would go work evenings, and I would work until 2 or 3 in the morning, and then come home, sleep. I mean, by the time you get to sleep, it's like 4, and wake up with kids, right? So I know that stress, and I know that you're not getting that quality time. So I think back to those times, or I think to what could be her life, and that she's got it really good, and I don't need to allow her to place that guilt on me, because you know how kids will do that to you, right? And so as a work from home parent, I think especially even more, they expect a little bit more of you because you're around all the time. So why can't you go and do this with them, right? So that structure for them is a very good example of even what an entrepreneur is. Most of us, we want to pass this legacy on to our kids. Well, we want them to know how to run a business. We don't want them to see us being this entrepreneur running a business and having no structure and just, letting things happen and kind of being all over the place. You want them to be able to do the same thing with their lives, even as soon as possible. So that for me is a huge way to just kind of alleviate that stress for me. And rest. I think, again, as work from home parents, we absolutely don't take enough time for ourselves. Whether or not that rest, for me, my rest is a little bit different. I use my rest as my actual workout time. And instead of, you would think, okay, well, you're up that early in the morning, that's when you should be working out and getting that time for yourself. I actually use my workout time while my kids are up, because I need my quiet time for my business. I know that that's when I'm the most productive. I know that my business is my money-making machine, and that I need to be using the quiet time for there. There's nothing wrong with my kids seeing me work out and, spending a half an hour, 45 minutes each day doing that. They're active, they kind of join in. So whatever your rest needs to be, and rest can just be you time, whatever you need that you time to be, don't take that away from yourself. You deserve it, and they can absolutely be a part of that. And don't beat yourself up for that. And that was my last point, is don't beat yourself up. I think that it's just a stress that all of us go through, and especially as women. I mean, I deal with moms who already work from home and need some help successfully. They need some help with their marketing, or they don't quite figure it out. And when you're new inside the home business industry, everybody needs help, right? So that's generally who I'm talking to. But in order to get to that point of accepting the help, I find that it is beating down a wall sometimes to try to get through to people, where you're getting them not to admit that they need help, but just admit that they don't have it all together. And so I really kind of wanted to use this as a platform to say we don't have it all together. No matter how successful you are, if you're a parent, you don't have it all together. So I can see a reflection of what they're doing. And it's okay. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, I don't know how to do this. Because the quicker that I was able to do that in my business, and the quicker that I was able to realize, hey, I need to start investing in some coaching. I need to start reaching out to the people who are successful. I need to start being friends with people who are successful and let them see me shine. I need to start figuring out how they're doing it instead of having that mind. And especially as parents and moms, I mean, we're able to do so much and multitask and take care of everybody that we think that we can just do this all on our own. And so it's okay if you don't feel like you are, and it's okay. You don't need to show the world that you are. You can absolutely, live the life that you want to live now. You can be that person now, but make sure that you recognize when you need help and reach out for it, because that is going to help your success so much more. And get a community of parents around you that do work from home. If you're surrounding yourself with people who maybe don't agree with what you're doing, or don't get it, or you feel awkward, or you feel like what you're doing is a little weird and it's in network marketing and nobody really understands you, then get around some people who get what you're talking about. There's some groups on Facebook that are awesome. Friend some people who you can tell are work from home parents, and start those conversations without it being salesy, without it being in that, that's what my conversations are with moms. Like, it's like, hey, how are you doing as a work from home mom? Or, what are your goals? How far along are you? Are you full time yet? Like, what is your life like? Like, actually just being parents who care about other parents staying home, whether or not that's inside of your business or not. And most of the time, if you build a relationship with people and you end up all being close friends, chances are you're all going to end up doing either the same thing, or people are going to be moving around to be close to the people that they resonate with. So it does end up benefiting you, even if it's just on an emotional level and you need that kind of relief. So I don't know. I don't know if chat's even on here. I jumped on real quick because we have these storms going on here, and I was kind of bunkering things down. Our backyard was just going crazy. I don't know if the Q&A isn't on. I don't know if there's a chat or not. Let's see. Okay, well, if anybody is in here and either has any questions or wants to come out and share an example, like I said in the description of this, it was going to also be anybody who wants to come out and maybe share ways that you're successful as a work from home parent, or if you have any questions about how you can get to that point of being full-time, or if you're struggling in a certain area of where you're at right now, looking after your kids, and whether, if you're having some stresses or need just some tips on how to get some things done, for sure, reach out and let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up soon. I just kind of want to be a voice for moms and dads, just to let you know that if you don't have it all together, it's totally okay. And that there's lots of us who feel that way every single day. And what I found is just that really just picking up the next day. Not like, one of the things that I dropped the most was watching TV. I wasn't like a TV addict or anything, but I found that the most hours, if I'm not going upstairs after the kids are to bed to watch TV, then it gives me an hour or so to work my business, get my day ready for the next day, and just, wake up and kill it the next day. But sometimes we need to be so adaptable as parents, because if somebody wakes up sick in the middle of the night, then you don't get your sleep, and then you end up taking care of them all day, you really can, start to feel like, oh no, here we go, I'm falling backwards. And then if you allow that to carry on through the next day, don't, you got to let stuff roll off of you. You got to allow yourself to go to bed. There are some days that by like 9 o'clock, I am exhausted mentally, and I think of doing anything for business, and I'm just like, there's no way, I just don't have it in me. So I let myself go to sleep, and I don't beat myself up over it, because I know that I'm doing what I should be in order to be keeping my business going, keeping my family going, and it's okay. And there's people out there that are like, well, if you're not hustling all the time, then you're not going to be successful. And I think as parents, half of our home business is our kids, and there's 50% at least of our time is spent doing that. So that is part of our home business structure, and maybe we need to start having a louder voice out there saying, hey, yeah, that's cool for all you people who have all this time. And I know there's people out there that work full-time jobs and come home and work their business, and same thing. I mean, people who don't do that don't understand the way they make it work. But it's you only have your kids young for a certain period of time, and I really think that if you like for myself, I'm in this period of time right now where I have been in the industry for 2 years now, 2.5, I don't know, 2.5 years almost. And I mean, I knew getting into it that I was committed to 5 years hard. And my family knows that. I had to explain that to them. I had to let them know that Mommy's going to be working really hard for the next few years just to really build us a life that, we couldn't have imagined prior to this. And it was hard, and it's still hard. They still don't get it sometimes. My husband will say, so you're going to work instead of, doing this, or you're going to work instead of that, or on Saturdays if they're playing in the pool and I have to go and do something for an hour, I have to make a prospecting call, or I have to do a presentation. They still don't quite get it, but they see what's going on, right? And they see how this is benefiting, and they see, well, Mommy's not having to say no to this anymore, so something's changing. Like it's just those little things that they're seeing. So just keep on telling them how much you love them, how much you appreciate the time that they give you, how much, when I'm off of this webinar, I'm going upstairs and telling them how amazing they are for allowing me to do this. My husband isn't home right now, so I am, so impressed that they're not down here jumping all over me and screaming like they are 75% of the time. So, just really taking what you learn about how important it is to make people feel good, and just remember that your family needs that from you too, and they're going to give it back to you, because when they see that this is so important to you, but that you appreciate how much they value that it's important to you, you're going to get it back so much in return. I don't see any chat coming through. I don't see any people saying they want to come out, and that's fine. I know these are, I just kind of scheduled this as a quick thing, and I'm probably going to do this a bit more, because I do think that the work from home parent community could use, kind of get together, just a place to vent or share your tips, or just, help each other out, be that sounding board for each other. So I don't see anybody here. There is one thing going on tonight that I wanted to tell you about. It's actually my sponsor, Cesar Rodriguez, is doing a prospecting webinar. Now he is, I know you're probably like, well, what's your sponsor? Of course you're gonna share it. No, he is like killer at prospecting. So if you are already in home business, if you're doing anything that requires any recruiting, selling, anything like that, Cesar's skills are amazing, and he's gonna be giving everybody a formula to use so that if you screw up, which we all do, or if you get off a phone call and you're like, what did I do wrong? You can like literally go back through the steps and identify what you've done wrong. So if you go over to coffeewithangel.com/Cesar, CESAR, you can hop onto that webinar. I don't know if I can plug a link in here. I'm so used to my go-to webinar. That's the way I've been doing all of my webinars. And I was like, you know what? I got to start using my Google Hangouts more, and just, hopping on with the people that I talk with all the time. I don't know if I can pop a link in anywhere. I thought I could do that. Let's see here. Well, somebody's going to have to tell me how to do that at some point. Somebody skilled on Google Hangouts. I wasn't doing them. Actually, I couldn't do them for a while. Back when other people were losing their accounts, I got a strike against mine. So I actually only got the ability to do Hangouts to get back again in like May. And by that point, I was already using GoToWebinar and have been, just kind of flying with that all the time. And I was like, you know what? I've got to go back to using this, but obviously I've got to also figure it out. I know you can pop, oh, maybe I can here. Oh, enter a chat message or link here. So I'll pop this up for you guys. Sorry for the horrible lighting tonight too. It's so dark in here. Like if you could see our sky right now, it's I was actually in the kitchen cooking supper. I think that, yeah, coffeewithangel.com/Caesar. So there you go. There's that link, guys. I was in my kitchen. This is totally off topic, but cooking supper. My son has this habit now of going up in his room and looking out the window. And so he stands up there and he looks out, and he's not able to like get up on the windowsill or anything. But I was watching outside in our yard, and our like lawn chair flew into the pool, and this whole like thing came through our yard. And it wasn't like a funnel or anything, but I mean, it was the closest thing that I've ever seen to that. And all of a sudden his bedroom door just slammed shut, I guess, with the pressure coming through the house. So it was pretty freaky. So I didn't really get a chance to set up too much here, but I still wanted to hop on and chat with you guys. And luckily I've kept power through the whole thing. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, if you are, these are the people that I work with, just so you know. I help moms who either, moms or dads, who either want to be able to work from home, make some sort of an income from home, whether or not it's full-time. A lot of them are stay-at-home parents already who would like to contribute more, who know that there's this home business industry out there but aren't quite sure where to dive in. I kind of consult with them, either help them to find something that works with them, or I show them what I use to make a residual income from home, or they join my MLM team, that kind of thing. Or I help people who are already in home businesses with their marketing and kind of giving them the tools and the training that they need to be successful online. So if those are any of the things that interest you, make sure to email me anytime at angel@coffeewithangel.com. I'm just going to see if anybody's commented. I'm like the worst Google Hangouts person, hey? And hey, Christina. I don't see any other comments. Everybody's so shy. That's fine. But next time you guys hop on here, I don't want any shyness, okay? I want involvement, and then none of you will show up. So yeah, I'll probably, I don't know, maybe every Thursday do this. I am doing a different webinar later tonight too on a Hangout, so I'm excited to try that out. I haven't done that presentation on a Hangout, so if you're on my profile, make sure to stop by that one. Otherwise, go over to Caesar's. It is starting in half an hour, and get some amazing, mind-blowing prospecting tips and just become a total boss when it comes to prospecting. And so guys, have amazing success in your businesses. Email me at angel@coffeewithangel.com if you have any questions about things that you want to do with your business or how you can move forward. Cheers, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.